Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today's an episode 116. In today's episode, we are going to dive into the Divine Masculine, the runner, so-called Divine Masculine that we think of. Why do they run away from me? Why they don't want to feel what I feel? What is happening to them? Why they are so afraid? Often it's said that Twin Flame is your perfect mirror, and today we're going to dive into the fears, wounds, and how is your healing going to help them to awaken, and how you're going to feel that. Like I said on my previous episode, what 2025 will bring us, I said that many Divine Masculines will start to awaken and will start to embrace this connection, but within their way, within their connection, within their healing. And one of the things that happened to me this week was that one of my biggest dreams was to have both of these twin flames, so-called Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine, on a call with me, whether we're doing a healing session or whether we do a channeling session, because my dream was to see what happens energetically, what is there. Even though I have an example from my own twin flame and we are very close and I can tap into very strongly, in that sense, it's still biased because it's what I can tell from my own perspective, what happened to me. But what Twin Flame Journey has taught me, that despite the fact that you are the same soul, you have the love, your journeys have been different. Even as a soul, your journeys have been different. You might have been here many more lifetimes than your twin. You might have experienced something that your twin never did, or the opposite. And to expect that they are going to feel, understand, and experiencing it the exact same way is not true. But it doesn't mean that they don't experience. I always say that energetically it's very difficult to translate many things. That's why twin flames often should communicate in silence, should communicate through telepathy, through energy, through connection. Because when we are in a state of ego, of, oh, I am only achieved that union when the twin flame is next to me, that's not true. That is one of the biggest illusions in that sense of, the thing is that when you have achieved, let's say, if your goal is only to achieve your twin flame in 3D back to your life, you have a very wrong achievement. Your idea of twin flame journey should be to be fully unconditional love, and you will magnetize them to back to you and their healing as well. And as this week my dream came true, that I had both of these beautiful souls on a call with me, and I was able to experience so much. It brought me so much new perspectives. It gave me so much more that, of course, for my Patreon members, there is a discount code, 20% off from every call, any session you wish to have with me in order to become your higher self. It's available for Patreon members because you've been supporting this channel, you have been supporting all of these energies, you have been the light and you deserve that. There was one free call as well, but that went away within 2 seconds. Like I always say, if you have subscribed, you have a bell notification, you are on Patreon, all of that. Because anytime something I have dreamt of, something I am feeling like this has been something of an achievement, I always give back. And so if you are signed up of any of these things, you always have an opportunity to grab it for free or discounted or get some gifts, anything. And this week, this magic happened to me. Also, I've received a lot of emails and messages where many of you are together or they heard from their twin flame after so long time. One of the great examples was on a Spotify podcast comment where I just got it a few days ago. That the comment was like this: remember me? I get to see my twin flame for the first time in 28 years today. I had to travel back home because of the family, and he is coming to see me. We have been in contact since the 22nd of September 2024, after 7 years of silence. Thank you for being the light and showing us the way. So what a beautiful way to see that someone who has been on this journey 28 years now hears from their twin flame. And like I said on my 2025, a lot of divine masculines will awaken. And one of the reasons is that unconditional love. Many of you have embodied the unconditional love. And you will see the shift and change. This journey, twin flames are not ego-based or how I want or how it's supposed to be. It's not a relationship. It is to trigger your healing, your transformation, your oneness with the God, with the universe, with the greater, with the love, with the divine. So just to say that if your twin flame, so-called twin flame, did not trigger of these things, then you most probably are not on a twin flame journey. I'm also going to say to you that your twin flame, the so-called divine masculine, is not running from you because they don't love you. They run because they are not in alignment with their energy. It might be that you are not either, which is a hard pill to swallow, because often we see that what's wrong with others, but we don't see what is inside of us needs to be fixed or changed. We like to point fingers on others and say, oh, the other person should do this, the other person should be like this, I want them to be like this, why they do like that? But what about if we shift and change the energy and we shift and change the reality? So your twin flame came to awaken you, and same for you. You were both ready for it. Now the question is, which state and how are you in it? And twin flame union towards the journey towards the union is very deeply spiritual. And it's an emotional process. That's why I say it's not something I wish for someone, but at the same time I do wish. It's not something that you're gonna come out of this like, oh, I feel so light, I feel so good, I feel everything is perfect. No, it's going to distract you. It's going to take you into smallest pieces you didn't even know that exists inside of you. Because twin flame is merging of the both energies, the masculine and the feminine energies. And it's a process of healing, surrendering, transformation. And both twins, just to say, both of you are playing a significant role in each other's awakening. So many of you, and I hear that all the time, is like, what's the point for me to do all of that energy work? What's the point for me to connect with my higher self? I just would like to have my twin flame. And my twin flame is resisting, or my twin flame is in a different relationship. It's not the point. I'm very sorry to say that. When you go into the state of what's the point of all of that, then there is no point for your twin divine masculine either. You're one. So if you feel resistant towards all of that, then they will feel resistance as well. Just to say that divine masculines are more logical. Don't expect them to walk up to you and say, you are my twin flame, we have to be together, that's how it's gonna be. They're more logical. For them to tap into that intuition, that knowing, takes time. And so why does it happen that the feminine, so-called divine feminine, just to say it has nothing to do with the gender. It has nothing to do with the gender, woman or a man. We often have more females because it's more natural for us to connect with this source faster. But it doesn't mean that there aren't many men. There are a lot of men. And you know what is beautiful with this man? I always say, when a man steps into healing, when the man steps into a higher self, how much they're going to change and shift the whole world. All the relationships, all the career, all of that. And that's why what happens is that normally, so it's so-called the one who awakens first, the one who has that feeling that was not a normal thing, what I just experienced. That was not something I could explain, whether you are a man or a woman. Because the feminine now starts to lead all of this journey through this unconditional love. So the divine feminine often awakes first, and you just start to embody all of this unconditional love. And so the divine feminine is the light, is the one that gives the compassion, acceptance, and starts to encourage all of that spiritual wisdom that you have in between. Telepathy, feeling energy, seeing sign, feeling their energy, even sexually. You start having out-of-body experiences. You start receiving, like I said, messages through telepathy from them, and it's very confusing. You start receiving information from the divine through downloads about this connection, what you need to do next. But the only thing is, you get very confused during this time. And just to say for those, and I know we sometimes go back to our ego, but if you would like your twin flame to return, you need to stay in unconditional love. Because the feminine is the one who leads by the example. And that's what happened to me. My divine masculine returned back to my life when I had opened my heart. Why do I have heart activations, meditations? Why do I have heart activation sessions through Kundalini or the life force energy, what I call it? Because I know how much it changed for me. My twin returned on that moment with a pure honesty. So when the feminine leads by this example and shows to the masculine what is a true vulnerability and what is the heart-centered love, it's not about that when you show that they have to return, but you are there to nurture this. And even if the masculine is completely like distant or resistant, doesn't want to come, the feminine has to hold the space without the judgment of understanding that it's scary. Because for them to step into from something what they've been logically trying to fix and understand into love takes a lot of time. But this unconditional love is the catalyst. And that's what slowly is going to break down the masculine's ego defenses. And these defenses are often built on fear, control, and past wounds. But if the divine feminine, if you are in a state of energy that encourages and heals and transforms and makes it feel safe, then it starts to trigger for them. I had another day a Reiki session for myself, and oh God, I love Reiki. So just to say for everyone, I love both. I love Kundalini activations. I have them once a week, but Reiki was a little break because of the holidays and here and there. And I went to that session, and she looked at me and she said, by healing this person, you also open the forgiveness that you're still holding in a certain way. And I realized exactly. On twin flame journey, and this wasn't towards my twin flame, this is something else, but I realized it's the same exactly on twin flame. By me for healing and transforming the energy, I opened the door for them. And now many of you can tell me that, oh, the healing has nothing to do with this. Just, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to go within. You don't have to shift and change your energy. Just, block and run from them and don't ever think about them. And the more you detach from them, the better it is. Well, here I'm coming with a disagreement. Because love can only heal. And of course, I'm going to say that it's a process that is not fun. It's not a process of fun. But I also say, listen to Joe Dispenza. Listen to the things that are very clearly saying, if you wish to manifest, if you wish to make a change and shift in your life, whether it's love, whether it's finances, whether it's whatever, you need to do that from the heart space and not from the space of old wounds, fear, or control at how things should be. And as the feminine now, you're stepping into your healing your emotional wounds. You're starting to let go of the attachments, the fear and the control. You energetically starts to create the same space for the masculine to do the same. Now, while I have, and this is why you feminines are very, very powerful. Any one of you who is awakened, you are extremely powerful. Don't let the ego to come. Deal with that. Sit with that. If you wish to have your masculine to come back to your life, so-called masculine, don't go into the ego. Be with an open heart. Cherish them. Be for them. One of the biggest mistakes I often see, and I always say that, when we are obsessed about them, when we have the obsession, which is very normal, don't get me wrong here, but we go with the state of, okay, I'm going to see my twin now. Now this they have to love me. They have to tell me. You're putting so much energy of pressure that, to be honest, even if I would love you on that moment, I will push you away. Because you are so much in, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you, I want you. No one wants to be in a state of attention, like feeling that you have to be in my life, otherwise I cannot be. And so and that's why the healing and transformation, energetic transformation, is one of the most powerful things you can do. And this would happen to me. And while Divine Feminine is dealing with her wounds and becoming a higher self, I've spoken so many times about becoming a higher self. And why? Because I see it's working. I see it's working. But higher self is not like we would think that higher self is, there's a lot of I know it depends on which stage we are in it on this journey. But there's a lot of understanding that I am my higher self when I am in a union with my twin flame. I'm really sorry to say that, but this is also very egoistic. And you are your higher self when you feel you have it all. And everything that comes into your life is an experience and is a beauty and is a love, and you're going to embrace that. It's not like we have this status kind of thing that, oh, I'm smarter when I have a university degree, or I'm better if I earn this some X amount of money, or I'm better if I have this car, or I wear these clothes. No. And that's what Twin Flame is really coming to teach you. That no one is better. All of these things doesn't matter. What matters is the unconditional love and what you're going to radiate to others. And many of you have that as actually as a mission. So becoming your higher self, and this is why do I work with these energies? Why do I connect with so much? Because I saw how everything changed and shifted in my life. The skills of telepathy, the way I can direct and redirect things. I promised I will put this out on my Instagram, and maybe I share it here on YouTube as well. Byron Leon, who lives in Switzerland, where I lived, and actually we lived very close to each other, but I never had a chance to meet him, didn't know about him until last year. He's a hypnotist, and I will put it out this episode with him, because if you don't believe what I say, maybe when you see what he's doing, like how he puts people under hypnosis and what he does and how it works, maybe then you believe what I talk. I know you hear me often over repeating about how divine feminine healing triggers the divine masculine healing, and we often think of like, how are they going to come to my life back? What's going to bring them back to my life? What are the signs that they're going to come? Do you know what is the sign? Of you feeling your higher self and you being the magnet. That's the biggest sign. And on that moment, you no longer have this feeling of when you heal those wounds. And I'm sorry to say, but that's how it is. When I didn't hear anything from my twin flame, and I thought from the previous episode, like I said, this is all useless, this is all crap, I don't believe any of that. When I stepped into the big healing, I had a shaman healing, I had soul realignment I had before that. Just to say, jump again, we did soul realignment as a workshop on Patreon. The workshop is going out. Those who wish to do the soul realignment, you can do that on your own on Patreon. But please take this with caution and with seriousness. It's one of the most powerful energetic shifts what you're going to do. And don't take this lightly. I will speak about that you will hear about this on a workshop. It's recorded version. Although, as you are not on a live energy activation session, I would recommend you to book a live one-on-one energy session for you, because it has to be shifted energetically. But of course, you can follow what is coming from there, but I highly would recommend. And soul realignment session is something that will unite you into oneness. And so just to say that when the feminine clears your own fears, and as much as we wonder what's happening to our divine masculine, what is happening to them, why they're not coming back, and believe me, I've been on the same place. But I had to step into my powers and opening the heart and letting go of my fear of love, fear of control. I love to control. I loved before to control things. Because I was afraid that if I'm not controlling, I'm going to lose it all. Well, we don't really have a power of control. We have a power of surrender and acceptance and knowing that you are divinely here for a reason and you're going to follow that love. So pretty much I would highly recommend you to really sit down with you and say, what is holding me back of becoming a higher self? Because when you do this, you will trigger the divine masculine to come back. These are your signs. If you are looking, what are the signs for your twin flame to return? Yes, how much you are in alignment with love, unconditional love. How much do you trust that everything is going to work out and you can just leave the things as they are and you don't have to do anything? How much do you willing to take the fact that your twin flame can come and say, I don't love you, the rejection wound, or that they will never return, the abandonment wound? We will have the workshops where we're going to dive into that in that, I don't know what I'm talking anymore, or unworthiness. And when the feminine starts to clear, just remember you are the leader of this journey. It's not about your divine masculine. If you, and this is I totally agree everywhere where it's been said. The moment you take away your focus on them and you focus on you, the magic will start to happen and they return. I've seen this over and over and over again. The moment we no longer focus, how can I heal them? How can I transform them? What can I do for them? But you go, how can I heal myself? How can I become the higher version of myself? And of course, the energy work. I have received for a couple of you who were on the Cyprus retreat, and we did quite a lot of activations over there, that they merged into their crown chakra, and it happened because this energy will continue. This is why I'm so beautiful why I'm such a big fan of the energy work. Because it's not something that you do one time and it disappears. No, once you are activated, you're activated. That's the same way with when you meet your twin flame. Once you are now having that 3D element, you're going to be there. So when the feminine, and this is if you are serious about, if you know that I have met my twin flame, they awakened me. I've never felt something like this. I never felt electricity like this. I never felt love like this. And this is one of the biggest fears what we have around as well, that I will never feel the same way again. If they won't return to my life, I will never feel the same love again. And that's not true. This love is already now inside of you, and you need to be able to connect with that. If you feel that divine love, you are able to be that exact same. I know I had the same fear. I said, I never felt something so divine. I never felt so much love. How on earth I feel now, like how on earth I'm going to ever feel it? There's no soulmate or other. I didn't want to hear any of these things because I said, this is so divine. I will never ever feel the love like that. Well, I was wrong. I was really wrong. Because I felt the love within me. And that's what often talk about samadhi. We talk about samadhi situation where you feel everything is love. You feel every single cell, every bird, every smell, everything around you is alive and love. And that's why I'm passionate about it. And also just to say, those who would like to have their divine masculines to come back in their life and awaken, this is your sign again. You need to feel the samadhi. You need to feel the oneness before anything can happen. And the more divine feminine is aligning with her higher self, the more you're doing it. And you can call me crazy here. But just to say, one of my biggest dreams is, of course, for every one of you to be with your twin, if that's meant to be, and live in harmony and live in love. But not in a control, and not in a hurt, and not in a anger. Of course, it's my biggest dream. One of my biggest dreams. And why do I do energetic work? Why do I have the every other Sunday? I could just leave it and be like, well, everybody's going to find their way. But I see the beauty of yours. And I see how far you can go and how your twin is going to return to your life. And I have some crazy stories where it's impossible to happen. Literally impossible. And these things are happening. And I realize, and just really, if you're wondering how to become your higher self and how to return your twin back to your life, listen to Joe Dispenza, really. The heart is the element of everything. But you can't do that from the wounds. You can't do that from the old way of being, like old belief systems. You need to heal this and you need to transform this. You are the one who is leading this part. And that's why when we did a soul realignment, I really ask you to write down how you're going to see the union. Who are you in this union? How it feels like, all of these things. Because one of the qualities of divine feminine, and just keep that in mind, is I'm not chasing, I'm attracting. So actually divine feminine is never a chaser. A divine feminine is an attractor, the one who attracts. And so the more you are aligning with your higher self, the more it gives that energy to the masculine to comfort their own shadows and begins the healing journey. I know many of you would be thinking like it's an overnight process. That today I do it, tomorrow it will happen. Or I do this for a couple of times and it will happen. And it doesn't work like that. For some of us it's 5 years, for some of us it's 2 years, for some of us it's 10 years, for some of us it's 15 years. but it should be your lifestyle. I say to everyone who comes to my healing sessions, and I always say, from today on, it should be your lifestyle. The activations, working with energy, should be your lifestyle. The same way you eat food, the same way you do sport or you go to work, this should be your lifestyle. Because when you wish to live in the highest, think about it, you're not here for a very long time and become your higher self. And now what happens is we often talk about the mirror effect. And the divine feminine, when you heal, it creates a mirror effect for the masculine. And it starts to push them within, to look at inside. And they might not understand in the beginning and why they need to change and why they need to shift and why they all of a sudden have stronger feelings. But on a soul level, they start to understand that they need to release the past and embrace something that is coming. And again, I'm going to say that the podcast is The Founder Spirit, Byron Leon. I will put it here on the description. And there he talks about it a lot, that often our mind doesn't know, but our soul already knows. That's what I also say about the retreats and everything. Our mind doesn't know if I have to be. Our mind doesn't know if I have to do that. But your soul already knows. And when you switch off the mind, you open that heart, the soul. And so one of the hardest things now that comes, like what was the same for you, is when the masculine starts to comfort their fears. And because the masculine energy is very often with a control, logic, and action. And there can be beneath all of that surface, there can be layers of pain, insecurity, or fear, or vulnerability. Insecurity, let's say, I'm not beautiful enough, or I'm not worthy of that love, or I'm not worthy of this, or I don't have enough finances, or I don't have this and that. But if the feminine is able to hold the space without expecting anything, the masculine is pushed to see these fears. So think of yourself always like a facilitator. You are the facilitator. And now many of us want to stop that. Many of us always want to stop the fact that your masculine is going to go through the dark night of the soul. And this is inevitable. And you can't stop that. As much as we have big hearts, and as much as we love them, and as much as we feel for them, pain is part of the story. Pain is part of this journey. And then what can happen, again, it can bring a lot of confusion for you. And this is another sign when you're looking for when your twin is going to return, that you're going to see a lot of silence from them. They've been completely quiet, withdrawn, completely confused. They might not tell you anything. They might start drinking. They might go into the places where it's not the nicest. And then obviously will start to run from the relationship, don't want to face the emotions, feeling like when I'm close to you, I'm so scared, I want to go, I don't want to feel that. But if you stay in a place of love and saying, it's okay, I know you're afraid, I know, it's all right, don't be. You give a place of space for them. And that will remind them what love is really. And now, of course, when the divine masculine starts to awaken, you will feel that energetically. And I remember that. And how do I remember that? I tell you, your body is very intelligent. Listen to your body. When a couple of times when my twin was in silence and then returned back and told me something, I remember how my whole body got into like an anxiety, or like, what should I do? What should I say? How should I say it? What should I do next? And I remember when he returned, at one point after all of my healing, all of my transformation, all of this, what I did, and I received a message and I felt so peaceful. I just read it like, it's not that I didn't have emotions, I felt peaceful. And now when the masculine awakens, you start feeling a lot of peace. This is one of the things, if you're wondering, if your twin flame will return to your life, you will be in a peace. And that's what I spoke about before, the samadhi. You will be in peace. You don't look for them if they're going to come back. You don't look for their messages. You don't look for anything. And it's not because you have stopped loving them. It's because now the energies are harmonized. And when these energies are, and you are energetic beings, just to say that over and over and over again, this has nothing to do with the relationship. I like you, you like me, we have to be together. When I spoke to these twin flames who were on the couch with me, and I could see how they vision, like how they are one, they're seeing the love, but how they are still very separate, and how they help each other to open up the parts that one is not able to open. But by staying as it is, I liked how this man said about the divine feminine. He said literally, she's just love. And when she's love, I feel safe and I feel I can do it. I can be me. And just because she's love. Oh, that was so beautiful. And for him, there are different things that as a feminine she needs to accept. But it's not about the label. Let go of that label. I also say that this doesn't matter. Also the divine feminine, divine masculine doesn't matter. What matters is that one awakens a little earlier of understanding it. And also, just to say, when this is I don't know if it's a coincidence. I don't believe in coincidences, but let's say it's a coincidence, those who want to believe it. When this beautiful soul, the so-called divine feminine, came to the call with me and we did an energy activation with her, right before that there was a lot of, I wouldn't call misunderstandings, but let's say words that didn't really align what she felt or how it happened. And after the energy activation, everything changed and shifted. And why? Because she aligned. She aligned with energetically with him, with this energy. And then here we are. A couple of months later, we sit and I have a call with both of them. It's so beautiful. I'm so thankful. I don't even know how to be thankful for such a big thing. But I'm very, very thankful. And when you're merging of these energies, it creates a very, very powerful unified force. You have to be one. It's not me, you did this, I did this, and all of this. And that's so powerful. And the masculine will start to embody the strength, action, protection. And while the feminine hold the space for intuition, nurturing, and compassion. And you start bringing the balance. Balance is the key element over here. Please remind yourself that your twin, even though you share the same soul, you felt something so divine, it does not mean your twin is 100 like you, in that sense of the ego element, that they're going to feel the same way like you. They're going to understand the same way like you. That they're going to face everything the same way like you. But when you let them to step into their higher power, and you let yourself to be in your higher self, and you are letting this to happen, so much magic is happening. And so just to say again that for your divine masculine, and this is based on you. If you believe in this love, if you are in this unconditional love, if you are your higher self, it will trigger your twin flame to heal and transform. Whether you believe it or not. Take 2025, this your goal, that I will become my higher self. I let go of my fears. I let go of my limiting beliefs. I let go of the judgment. I let go of the blame. I let go of anger. I let go of the abandonment. I let go of rejection. I let go of all of this. Watch what starts to happen. Yeah. And you are your own proof. But if you go back and forth, it's very difficult. But I'm just going to say it's very, very normal. Don't blame yourself. Please don't blame yourself. I just beg you. But find the ways to heal and transform. Meditate, connect, do energy work, Reiki, breath work, Kundalini, ayahuasca, what can I put here? Retreats, come to the retreats. I don't even, like, in that sense of, I see what the magic is happening to my twins, and mine, everything is mine, no, to the beautiful soul who were able to experience something so magical. And it's step by step. And just to say, depends how long you have been programmed with a different energy. Listen to Byron episode as well. It's here and it's on I will put it out on Facebook, on Instagram story and Facebook story. If you don't believe me, if you don't trust what I'm saying, if you are like, it doesn't work, never mind what I do, it doesn't work like that. And I would like you to be your higher self. Why? Because then you will go and help others to become their higher self. And you're magic. And just to say that throughout this whole journey, so now if you're wondering if your divine masculine will step into love, feel the love, admit the love, all of this, it's a key role of yours. Your patience, your healing, your inner strength is the foundation for your masculine to awaken. But not in a state of, I need you, I want you, I will be happy if you are in my life. You will come back to my life now. Like this intense need for this person to be in your life. I've said that so many times when someone puts the pressure on me, I want you there, I need you there, you have to be next to me. I feel like, I don't want to. Even though I love you, I feel like I'm forced to be somewhere. And you divine feminine, you are the light that guides your twin, your masculine through darkness. And that is like never pushing, never forcing, but trusting the divine timing. You really have to step into the trust and your higher self. And why do I speak about higher self? Because your suffering stops over there. And it is a co-creative process. You have to do the inner work. You have to heal. You have to evolve. Only like this it will happen. So whether you believe me or not, I always say, if you don't believe me, try it on your own. Try it on your own when you're going to face all of your fears. You're going to energetically align, and what starts to happen then? And then you have your proof. So these were about how your divine masculine will go from the fear to love. And can you imagine how powerful you are? How powerful you are. When my twin returned back to my life and said to me all of these things, what he felt, what happened to him, and I was so much at peace because it felt so natural. It felt so beautiful. And from there on, that oneness became just something I want to give it to everybody. And also just to say, the ultimate goal, the end goal of the twin flame journey is a spiritual alignment and becoming one with an unconditional love. And that's why this journey, often you are going through periods of separation. You're healing, which is not so nice. And as each twin working on releasing their past wounds, limiting beliefs and attachments, and it's very important, the limiting beliefs, you are aligning with your higher self. And you start to embody the frequency of divine love. Love that is free from conditions, expectations, or fears. I just want to repeat that. Unconditional love, that frequency of divine love that is free from conditions, expectations, or fears. That's why I say that twin flame union, 3D union. Let's say I force my twin to come right now here and say, love me because I love you. And I know that you feel, and my twin can say, I do love you, but I have that fear. I have that fear of, let's say, not being good enough for you. And I would say, how can you have that fear that you are not good enough? I love you. That's okay. That's all good. That's not true. So divine love, the frequency of divine love, is free from conditions, expectations, and fears. And this alignment with unconditional love brings both of you into union. And not only with each other, but with a divine source of love. And in this state, when you are there, the twin flame relationship transcends the material and becomes very, very sacred partnership. And it's often rooted in a spiritual purpose. And twin flames, whether you are in a union or just in 3D, you support each other's growth, you serve the collective, and you radiate the love. And you are the example of divine union. You have to live the life as a divine union. I hope it gave you some kind of a perspective to think today. And I really say, your divine masculine will shift the fear to love when you are the love. Believe me or don't believe me, but I know one day you will tell me you were right. Lots of love, lots of light. I want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for all the support. Just a few things to go over. Those of you who have listened until now, on Patreon, you can do the soul realignment if you're ready for that. Don't take that as a joke. We have a next group session on 2nd of February. You're free to join if you are a Patreon member, or you can buy a ticket into that and come and join us for that activation if you felt resonated, if you felt that it's time for me to make the magic happen. And Costa Rica retreat, I think we are full, but if you still feel, let's say, I would like to come, I would like to join, I would like to come and see, just drop the line, because there can be an opportunity, there can be a way. You never know, because if your soul wants to be you there, you'll be there. So don't hold yourself back. Let your soul guide you this year. And of course, those who feel like they are ready to step into their higher power, they're ready to release anything inside of them. They want to talk about it. They want to feel more connected. twinflameawakeningjourney.com, you have 20% off at this moment if you are a Patreon member as well. All the links are in description. Yeah, just come. Just shift and change. It all starts from the very, very small things. But once the magic happens, the magic happens. And listen to the Byron episode as well. It is in the description and you'll find that on Instagram. Lots of love, lots of light, and I just want to say, I don't think that you know, I'm trying hard to show. These days it's hard to tell what's on your mind. Why don't you stop pretend like this is what we planned? I can see the end is coming down. And if I don't look back, will you let me get away? If I turn my back and walk, will you stay? Same mistakes, you're running out of space. I got closer than you could take. So why don't you stop pretend like this is not